back, or welcome if you are new here. So in today's video, I'm going to show you a bit of my meal prep from my Aldi haul. So if you haven't already, please go and watch my budget-friendly Aldi haul that I did earlier this week. The link is up in the top right corner, so check that out if you haven't already, because in that video, I took you to Aldi with me and I kind of talked through all the stuff I got. But in this video, I'm just going to show you some super simple recipes that you can create with the products that I bought the other day. Yeah, I really hope you enjoy this video and you take some value from it. Honestly, healthy meals can be so easy and so simple. All of these meals did not take me long at all to make, so yeah, I really hope you enjoy these quick, easy, and delicious recipes. I'll see you guys on the other side. Bye!
Alrighty, so first up we are making burrito bowls. These are perfect for meal prep and honestly taste so delicious. I just want to make them again. It was amazing. So here I have 3 sweet potatoes. I ended up using about 200 grams per serve. So I thought I was only going to make 3 serves, but the chili bean mix that I made ended up making quite a lot. So I turned it into 4 serves and I just split this up into 4 even servings after I'd cooked it. So I just chucked it in the oven for about an hour. You want it to be nice and cooked through, so an hour is great. And then here I have some vegetables. I've just chopped them up kind of like fajita style, so long length bits, and yeah, I've just used zucchini, capsicum, and mushroom here. I would also recommend adding in some onion, but I had already used my onion in a different meal, so I didn't have any onion left, but would recommend some slices of onion in there too. Now it's time to cook our mincemeat. So I've just got some olive oil in the pan, and here is the plant-based mince that I got from Aldi. This one actually is really good. So I had never tried this before today and I really enjoyed it. So it does come frozen, so you do have to de-thaw it for quite a few hours. I just left it in my fridge overnight and then I cooked it the next day. So yes, that is all we have to do. Chuck that in with some spices. So I've got some garlic powder as well as some smoked paprika and some cumin, as well as some chipotle seasoning. So if you have a Mexican mixed spice mix, that would work well. I just have the one from Woolies, which is called chipotle seasoning, and it's really good. It just adds a bit of heat through it. But you could just add in some chili powder or something to get a bit more spice in there. And then I've just gone in with 1 can of diced tomatoes. So these are just the organic diced tomatoes I got from Aldi. They worked really well. And here I'm just adding in a little bit more cumin as well as a can of black beans. So the can of black beans I didn't actually get from Aldi because I couldn't find any black beans, and plus I already had some at home that I needed to use up. So I just chucked that in. Obviously rinse your beans if you're using them from a can, and then put them in. Here I'm just tasting it to see what it needs, and I realized it needed a bit more of that chipotle seasoning, it needed a bit more spice, and then I'm also adding in some garlic salt here. So you could just add regular salt and a bit more garlic powder, but I have this garlic salt and it's really yummy, so I put a bit of that in. And that is it for the beans. Honestly, so quick and easy. And now we're going on to cooking up our veggies. So I just use the same pan. I didn't feel the need to wash it because everything's kind of going to go together anyway. So I just took the beans out and then put a bit more olive oil in. And now we've got all of our delicious veggies in the pan. Give them a good stir. You want them to be nice and well cooked, but you don't want them to be too overdone. So, just keep stirring them around, seeing how long it needs. I've just added in some garlic salt here, and shortly I'll add in a bit of paprika and cumin. Again, you can add in whatever spices you like, but I do recommend cumin because it's really good for you, and also it just works so well in Mexican dishes, as well as paprika and some garlic. Yeah, all those spices work really well with this Mexican style bowl. And yeah, you just want to stir that around until it gets nice and well cooked, and that is honestly about it. I'm just going to make some guacamole now. So I do recommend only making the guacamole when you are going to eat this. So I had obviously 3 leftover serves, but I was only making the guacamole for the serve that I was going to eat then and there, because guacamole does go a bit brown if you make it a few days in advance. Adding in lime does stop it from going brown, so you definitely could make it the day before. But if you're going to be eating the avocado a few days later, I'd recommend just waiting and making it the day of, so that you have that really nice fresh avo. So yeah, I've just added in a splash of lime juice as well as some salt and pepper, and that's literally it. Now all we need to do is assemble the bowl because our sweet potato is cooked. So as you can see here, I'm just adding in a little bit of everything, and that is it. So simple. And honestly, this tasted amazing. It tasted great on the first day, but honestly, I think it even tasted better the next day in the meal prep. Like all the flavors just really kind of like soaked in, and it was just so good. So I would highly recommend trying this out for meal prep. It's so easy to do variations of, like you could add in different types of beans, you could add in pinto beans, whatever kind of mixed beans you have would work as well. So yeah, it's a really good one, and I highly recommend trying that out. On to recipe number 2, we have a spinach curry. So I have made this one in a previous video. However, I wanted to show you guys again because it's actually so good, and I've got a lot of new followers since I had first posted this recipe. So I want to show it again. And also the first time I made it with fresh spinach, whereas here I'm making it with frozen spinach. So as you can see here, I'm using some boiling water to cover all the spinach and leave that to soak for about 10 minutes so that the spinach softens and it's easier to cook with. So now I'm prepping the tofu. I am making a double portion here, so I'm using 2 blocks of tofu, but you can half the recipe, and I'll put all the details in the description box below if you do want to go and make this recipe after watching this video. I will have all the ingredients listed down below for the regular size as well as the double-sized serve. So this one is going to make 6 servings, which is really great for meal prep. And also my boyfriend was having some of the servings as well, so we kind of shared it. But all I did with that tofu was literally cut it up into little blocks, add in some curry powder as well as some salt and pepper, and I mixed that through and then whacked that into the oven for about 30 minutes. So you want to get that tofu in nice and early before we make the curry so that it can cook through, and then we just add it into the curry right at the end. So I would recommend getting your oven heated and putting in your tofu at the beginning. Additionally, you'll probably want to serve this with some rice, so I would recommend putting the rice on at the beginning before we get into the curry. So here I just have some olive oil in a pan, and I've cut up 1 brown onion. I'm also adding in some minced garlic. So I'm adding in 3 teaspoons of minced garlic here, which is about 6 cloves of garlic. It sounds like a lot, but it's actually really not. So anyway, here I'm just adding in some curry powder as well as some garam masala. I love these spices, they're so good. Then I'm adding in a can of diced tomato. So I actually did end up adding in another can shortly because I remembered that I'm making 2 serves, not 1. So you need 2 cans of diced tomatoes. Again, these are just the organic tomatoes that I got from Aldi. Alrighty, now it's time to add in a cup of stock. So I've just used the Macel chicken style stock, but you can use whatever kind of stock powder you have, just 1 cup of stock, and then your frozen spinach. I added in that whole bag of frozen spinach that I got from Aldi. Yeah, it's actually such a good recipe because you're getting in so many amazing nutrients from all that spinach. You know, you've got iron, you've got folate, you've got everything that spinach has. It's just a great way to pack in spinach into your diet without having to eat it manually, like because it's all blended up. It's just so easy to eat, and it honestly tastes so good. Like I know people who aren't a big fan of spinach will be like, oh, spinach curry, but honestly, like you don't really taste the spinach, you taste all the delicious spices that are in there and like the tofu and the curry flavor. So I would highly recommend giving this a go. Anyway, what I've just done there is put that all into the blender. You do want to use a blender here, not a food processor, because the blender really gets everything nice and smooth, whereas I've tried it in a food processor before and it was a bit like, like chunky, which you don't want. You want it nice and smooth. And then here I've just added in half a can of coconut milk. So this is the coconut milk I got from Aldi. It's the light coconut milk, and that worked really well. And now I'm adding in some tamari as well as some maple syrup. So I would recommend only 1 teaspoon of maple syrup if you're going to be using this brand of Aldi coconut milk, because I did find that the coconut milk from Aldi is slightly sweet. I think it is just natural sugars that are in there. It's not got added sugar in it. But yeah, I'd recommend only adding in a teaspoon of maple syrup if you're using this brand of coconut milk. However, other brands I've used in the past weren't as sweet, so a tablespoon is good if you're not using the Aldi one. Here I'm just adding in some salt and pepper and stirring that all through. This is the kind of consistency you're after. So it is not too thick, not too thin. It's nice and smooth. And here I'm just adding in some more spices because I tasted it and thought it just needed a little bit more. So I added in some more turmeric, paprika, some more curry powder, garam masala. And now it's time to serve up. So just add in 1 serve of rice as well as some of that tofu. You can put the tofu into the curry and mix it all up, but I honestly just had so much curry sauce in there, I didn't want it to overflow, so I just put it in manually. And then I just topped it with some hemp seeds because I would usually top it with coriander, fresh coriander, but I didn't have any at home, so I just used some hemp seeds. You know, why not add in some extra omegas? You really don't taste it. But yeah, that's what I had for dinner, and then I meal prepped the rest of these for the following days. This curry keeps so well, I'd say up to about 5 days, but I like to eat my food within 3 days just so it's optimally fresh. But yeah, that was that recipe. Now going on to recipe number 3, I'm making a tofu scramble. So if you have seen any of my recent What I Eat in a Days, almost all of them have a tofu scramble in them because I am honestly so obsessed with tofu scramble at the moment. It's so tasty and satisfying, and it's got heaps of protein. It's a great post-workout meal. So anyway, what I'm doing here is just adding in the crumbled tofu to a pan with some olive oil and some spices, as well as 1/3 of a cup of almond milk. This just helps to soak up all the spices and kind of evenly distribute them all. Then I'm adding in some salt and pepper and putting that to one side so I can add my veggies in. Here I have some cherry tomatoes, some mushrooms, and then I will add in some spinach shortly. I've just put in a little bit of garlic salt and some rosemary just to give those veggies a bit more flavor. And yeah, you just want to wilt the spinach down, mix everything up. You could mix everything through if you want, but I just decided to keep it separate today. So that is my tofu scramble with my sauteed veggies, and I'm just having it with half of an avocado. And then I am also going to top it off with some barbecue sauce because you guys know I love barbecue sauce. It just adds so much flavor and it is a bit addictive once you get into it. But you could also just have this with some tomato relish or tomato sauce, whatever you're into. This is a delicious meal and I had it a couple of times this week.
Hey guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video and I hope you took some value and inspiration out of it. If you did really like it, please hit the thumbs up button down below and also leave a comment as to which of these meals was your favorite. Personally, I really liked the Mexican bowls because, I don't know, I just didn't get sick of them. One day I had it for lunch and dinner because I just really loved it, and it was something different. I haven't really made Mexican bowls in a while, so I really enjoyed it. And I definitely recommend that recipe. And the plant-based mince, it turned out so well. Like, I was really pleasantly surprised with that Aldi plant-based mince, so we definitely recommend giving it a go. It would work great in other recipes as well, so I'm definitely gonna go back and buy that one again. And also, if you guys are new here or if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button down below and also click the bell notification button if you want to be notified every time I post a new video, which is usually every Wednesday and Sunday, give or take a day. But yeah, I really am so grateful for all of you who are here and subscribe to me and supporting me. I'm really grateful to every single one of you, and thank you so much for your continued support. And yeah, with all that said, I hope you guys are safe and well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!